Saturday night. Very good night. We've had a beautiful day in Geraldton. And then I turned on my computer and had to look at a dribbling little liar. Its name is McGowan. Sitting there looking at one of Australia's worst traitors. Oh, that's Bob Hawke. What was he trying to do? He's a communist, trying to turn the Socialist Party, which is Labor Party, into communists and turn us into communists. Do you people ever stop to think when you're worshipping this little slime bag? Good thing he died, because all he was trying to do was take every single thing that you own and give it to an elite few people, which is what communism's all about. Their platform, socialism as well, is everything belongs to the people. No. The people that they refer to is themselves. Systematically through the years in this country, they've lied, they've cheated, they've stolen everything off you. Then we'll come back to that lying little filthy traitor and his little mate, Mark McGowan. You know what they call you around the street? Yap, because you're always yapping and nothing sensible comes out, McGowan. You better listen. But then I watched Skype thing, news.com.au, who referred to me as a sovereign citizen, and all these people that stand up for their rights as sovereign citizens. News.com.au must get their news from Australian Bulldust Club, funded by us. God knows how that come about, but you're not paid to lie, you clowns. You sit there and agree with the government when they remove people out of our parliament under section 44 of the Constitution. You claim all these things under our Constitution. Well, the problem with you people is clause 8 to our Constitution. Says we're a self-governing colony of England. And we are. And the oath contained in our Constitution requires that anybody exercising authority swears that oath in our Constitution. And that oath is the coronation oath of the Queen. Uphold the Protestant faith, Church of England, Magna Carta, 1688 Bill of Rights, Act of Settlement, Habeas Corpus, and the King James Bible. You know what that means? It means you people lie, and when you finish lying, you lie again. And you call the media. Donald Trump called you out, said you're dishonest, fake news, liars, that's all you are. How can you be a sovereign citizen? A citizen is a slave. A sovereign owns themselves and all their rights. But I got some news for you. King James Bible is part of our common law. You know this book here? Talks about Jesus Christ and God. You don't have to believe him. No one said you do. Just don't go on our TV and lie. You see, the Bible says in the Gospels, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. What does that mean? That means you're given the right to choose whatever you want to do. Follow Christ or go the other way. It's simple. Why do you have to lie, cheat and steal, you people? I'm talking about news.com.au. You people. You think that we have to think like you because you went to university. Well, university to study news, media and reporting is the end of the line for brain dead people who can't get a job anywhere else. So they get paid to lie. And they're already good at that. You're proving that. All you do is lie. And then you get upset when you get caught out. What was it that Channel 7 woman said? Can you please go on Facebook and tell these people, stop threatening to kill me? And I said, why? You lied. I didn't lie. It was the editor. The editor lied. Sorry, What have you done about it? Why don't you go on Facebook and say the editor lied? No, you can't do that because it'd be the truth. Now, you lied about another point. Shane Van Stein, paid liar, absolute blimpo. I don't know what he takes, but something tells me it ain't what you're supposed to be taking. The poor bloke is 10 chops short of a 9-chop barbecue. You understand that? Not very bright, looks like he can carry a heavy load. He's carrying his head. And that's so big, it's going to explode one day. He thinks he's so good. Now let's get to the truth of the matter. There is no $300,000 outstanding rates. To do that would have had to be the court case in 2012. Would have had to go on their way. It didn't. The court case in January, February last year had to go their way. Didn't. The magistrate sat there and he said, I cannot give you the order you seek to remove the property off my land. Then he said, I can't give you the order you seek in relation to the land. Do you know what that means? A little bit of understanding. It means you don't have a court order. But then Van Stein says it's for rates. No. 75% or more of the rates goes to pay the wages of the company, registered trading company known as the City of Greater Geraldton. The High Court ruled that. But then you don't believe in the High Court unless it's something that you want. You don't believe in the High Court when it ruled our land is held in fee simple. Now, let's go back to Clause 8. It says the colonies, when they become states, no longer sit under the Boundaries Act. You know what that means? You know what a boundary is? That is the perimeter of the extent of the authority of the Commonwealth of Australia. 12 nautical miles off the coast of the landmass known as Australia. Do you understand that? Now, the creation of the Commonwealth meant that the Boundaries Act applied to that because we are a self-governing colony of England. Do you understand that? Constitution says it. Queen says it. Commonwealth Constitution Act 1900 UK states it. And I've got to get something because I want to show you something about a boundary. This is a title, a lawful title. Look at that. Lawful certificate of title. You know what that is? That is the boundary of an estate held in fee simple. Do you understand what that is? That's when we purchase the land, we purchase it off the Crown. We did not purchase it off some peanut sitting in Parliament claiming to be a government, because they're not. The letters patent for the Office of Governor of Western Australia states quite clearly the Governor is the highest authority in government in this state and must be obeyed. It's a letters patent. 6.1.9 of the Statute of Monopoly said only the monarch can change it. Didn't. We're not a sovereign nation. We are self-governing colony of England. Meaning that boundary belongs to us. You can't cross that boundary except for two things. Section 39 of Magna Carta that you made a joke of, you donkeys. Clause 39 says trial by jury. That's the only way. Signed off by a justice of the Supreme Court. We don't have any. We have quorums. Quorum is an unelected judge. A person impersonating a judge who isn't one. Do you understand that? So all the rulings of the so-called courts that you look up to and praise because you're taught to lie that way, lie, because it is a lie, and you know it is. Because if you took the time to read the law, you would know they're not telling the truth. So there isn't anybody to sign off on it. Now, Van Stein and his clammy bunch of thieves, along with the lawyers, and McKim, the CEO, and the other executive officer of the company known as the City of Geraldton. Now it's a company. HCA 11 of 2015 states quite clearly, doesn't matter if you're a government entity, if you have an ABN number and employ people and provide services for money, which Van Stein claims, he just says you provide services. No, Van Stein, you're a liar. You make us pay for all the services you claim you provide. You don't. Rubbish, you get paid by the government, federal government. And all the rest of the stuff you get paid for. You're paid by fuel tax to fix the roads, look after footpaths. Where's all that money go, Van Stein? Into your pocket? Probably. You see, I don't believe anything you say. You're such a liar. A very, very dishonest person. Unfortunately, you picked up a young bloke because you transferred the titles, digital titles, to him when he paid $300,000 that I never owed. Still don't owe. Because to owe it, under our law, under the Constitution, you have to prove in a court of law I owe it. You never did. You lied, you cheated, and you stole. You can sit in your little double-storey house opposite the Geraldton Primary School with that nice name on the front that suits you to a T. Where'd you get the money to buy that? Steal that too? Probably. Like everything else you do. But see this? I have one of these. One of these for my property. And under our law, Imperial law, Transfer of Land Act, the real Transfer of Land Act that you have no right to touch, because you can't touch Imperial law, I own it. It's held by remitter to me because I hold that title. And you aren't getting it. No court can give it to you because we don't have any. That's why I filed in England against you people. And as I said a couple of weeks ago, about 8 to 10 weeks, I'm coming after you and file, look at that, in the Royal Court of Justice in England against you and all your mates for conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, overturn our Constitution, commit treason. And if you people from news.com.au keep opening your big mouths, you'll be joined to the case. How do you like that? Because you are party to it, and when you go around lying about it. I have never owed the $300,000 in rates. Sit down and work it out, you clowns. They didn't get any. They didn't get any court orders. None. And they don't have them. Now, McGowan, I've seen the act that you purported to have passed. I read the fact that the Local Government Act 2019 has had royal assent. Hang on. Royal what? From who? Don't tell me Beasley's out dancing in his tutu again with his high heels. Isn't he supposed to be the Queen's representative? He certainly is not. He certainly is not. And there is nobody anywhere in the Parliament in Western Australia, not one person capable of giving royal assent to anything, especially the Local Government Act, because if it went to where it's got to go in relation to fee simple land, it must go to the Queen for her signature. It must be reserved to the Queen. It's imperial law. You have no rights over land. Go read the state constitution, you pair of donkeys. The state constitution and the letters patent for the office of governor says the governor, who is the Queen's representative, handles the titles to the Queen's land when she hands it over to us in fee simple, alienated from the Crown. You know what alienated means, because when you tell everybody you've unlawfully seized the land because somehow you can get around the fact you need a court order to prove I owe money and you haven't got it, somehow you think that the council's above the law. But it's not. And you're about to find out it's not. You're about to find out how many years of the rest of your life you're going to spend behind bars, because that's where you're going. Now, McGowan, wake up, mate. Weren't you in the Navy or one of the military forces Probably the Navy. They should chuck you overboard and feed the sharks. You're protecting them, you may as well jump in and feed them with you. Listen, this country needs a clean out. Prove there is a COVID-19 virus. Because, look at that, the Prime Minister of Italy said it's all lies. They didn't even get a quarter of the people die there, and it was probably from heart, liver, kidney, all sorts of other diseases, and you attach COVID-19 to it. The coronavirus is a flu virus. So you're going to detect a flu virus by your test kits and then say, oh, it's a COVID virus. No, no. I don't even still believe there is a COVID virus. But any virus, once it gets out into temperatures, is going to die. That's why your mate ScoMo never put everybody on Christmas Island, because the temperatures are too hot there and the virus would have died as soon as they got off the ship or plane. That's why you didn't do it. The reason you put ships in every major city in this country and offload them knowing they were sick. Coronavirus? Don't know. I still aren't convinced that it's there, and you haven't given any evidence to show that it exists. Only a computer generated picture which doesn't show it exists. Oh, people died of it. That doesn't prove it exists. Go and get the death certificates issued by a coroner who has done an autopsy on their bodies. Go on, look at Western Australian law. Isn't it still the fact that if you haven't ever had a full medical, or the doctor won't sign off on it, you've got to have an autopsy. Take their names off, take their addresses off, and put the released facts from the test done on the fluids and everything from the body of those people you reckon died of it. You know it's the truth. You know it's the only true way of finding out. That's why that law's in place. So you have an autopsy and you know what they actually died of, because you can't convince everybody. And look at it now. There's going to be a second wave of it. Hang on. If there's going to be a second wave of it, why are you bringing all these people back from China, the students, to come here? Why are you allowing people to come in and out of this country still? Why are you allowing any ships to pull up at our wharves? Because you are not going to tread on the toes of your backers, which is all the big companies. And that's all you did. You closed down all the small companies, mum and dad companies, sent them to the wall, destroyed their businesses, and never shut down one big business. Wake up, Australia. You're being screwed over and lied to. And good old news.com.au is there lying for the government, because they will not tell the truth. Go read our Constitution, you pack of donkeys, and then come and tell me if the state constitution can only continue subject to the Commonwealth one. How come in 1979 that every Labor Party run state added local government to our state constitutions when we said no at a referendum? Now, even if it didn't apply at federal level, only at federal level, and didn't apply at state, the state constitution cannot continue 1 second after you added local government, because it no longer complied with the Commonwealth one. Its only authority to continue is subject to the Commonwealth Constitution. So next time, news.com.au, you want to lie about me. One, I am not a sovereign citizen. I am a child of God. I am a sworn officer of the Crown. I am a subject of Queen Elizabeth II. You don't like what I said? Prove I'm not. You cannot attach what you did to me. Otherwise, you're a turnip. You taste like crap. You should remain in the bin. You have no real value to most people. And all you do is lie. That's all you do is lie. Local government is a fraud. It's a lie. It's used to try and pretend the parliaments who call themselves the government, and they're not. They're 1/3 of the government. the judicature, which is your courts that are 1/3, and the executive, which is the governor and 18 people he selects from the state parliaments, and the governor general at federal level. So you are lying. You know that? Lying. You're lying because you have to know if you're going to run around sprouting your nonsense. So you have a good night.